All right.
Hello, hello,
Hello,
hello.
hello.
Welcome to our neck of the woods. How you guys doing today?
Cold out there. Cold, cold. Hope you have your firewood ready. Yep, 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 yep.
Well, I hope everybody got recharged over the weekend and you are all feeling wonderful. Hey,
Mm.
love pugs,
Hmm.
good to see you. Let a couple people get on here before we start chatting away so we don't have to keep repeating ourselves. You know how that goes. Hey, Don.
Hello, hello.
Fireplaces are nice. Finally got the tree set up and decorated. A couple more decorations I want to do in the house. And then we'll show you guys. I'll show you. At least the tree, right?
Okay.
All right. Well,
Well, I hope
oh,
you feel better, love hug.
yeah, honey. I do hope you did. Have you made yourself any of that homemade recipe? I'll put it up here, but we won't speak its name. Let's see here. That would be the one.
Mm-hmm.
Oranges and lemons, say the bells of St. Clemens. Hey, Chuck, good to see you. Haven't seen you in a while. Hope you're doing all right.
Hey, Chuck.
Love pugs, I hope you're feeling better. Okay, well,
Very
that's good.
good.
That's good. All right, well, I guess I'll go ahead and
Try to bring up your other biotics though, because it usually takes out all. So you want to be able to counter it.
yes, and yogurt if you can tolerate
Yes,
it
yogurt.
because of the probiotics that are in it. You're going to want some probiotics back in your body as well. Oh, wonderful.
50
Glad to hear
degrees
it.
cool.
There is going to be a heat wave coming around and then a cold wave slamming in behind it. So, yeah. Aw, lemon. Hot tea with lemon and honey. Usually you can at least convince people to do that. And if you can't, convince them to take other kinds of medicine, that'll help them. All right, so hey, let's get it started. So what are you giving your energy to?
Hello, Robert.
There he is. Good morning. Um, what are you giving your energy to? Did I just do this? I did that part.
Mm-hmm. You already pasted it too.
I did?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wonderful. So I was thinking about this over our long weekend, which I truly enjoyed. And although I missed you guys, I really did enjoy just taking time off and recharging my battery and not giving away my energy to everything that was unnecessary. So um,
And we decorated all weekend.
that always lifts
That's
the
a chore
spirits.
itself. So
Yes, but it's a fun one. And since you only do it really once a year, it's
yeah,
not that big a deal. Yeah.
I'm not giving myself something to go. Dang lemon,
So
you gotta give me some good.
every time we are
1 second.
out searching around on the big wide web, or we are out um, watching some of these other shows and participating in things, and there's nothing wrong with that. By all means, if it makes you happy. Um, but I guess I'm asking you to ask yourself what you feed your energy to, because it's really very vital in the time that we're in the in the way that we're going, that that you're careful what you give your energy away to, what you feed, right? You guys have heard me talk about it before. um you know there's a whole lot of garbage out there on the web. There's a whole lot of good information out there on the web, but what you feed your energy to, whether it's the fear porn or the intel drops or um religion or spirituality, it doesn't matter what topic you're feeding. Whatever you feed will grow. And you've heard that. You've heard that in the two wolves story. I'm sure every one of you here's heard that story. Um, you know, what you feed inside you will grow, but also what you feed outside you will grow. Um, and so for Jeff and I, we've come away from watching a whole bunch of the live shows and the live chats. Um, and we feel better for it. We feel more grounded. We feel more centered. Um, it's really
Some reason I have no audio.
I don't know.
There it went. Maybe it's from being under a
So have
rock.
you been?
I'm here. I'm avoiding everything. Too much negativity out there, so I decided to just to pull back. I got on and talked with Bonnie and Camo a little bit last night.
I'd help you out. Hey, Frank.
People look for bad, they find it, and I figured if I didn't look for it, it didn't exist.
Well, if you don't feed it, it can't grow, right?
Yep.
That's kind of what we're talking about today. Um,
Yeah, two bears. I try to feed them both at the same time. That way it stays kind of even.
but yeah, there's definitely balance is required in all things in life. But I think a lot of the balance has been disturbed for so long that most people don't understand what balance actually means on those levels, and so they're willing to accept a lot of things that normally they would not accept.
Yeah, because we're looking at four corners. You got the truthers, the anti-truthers, the doubters, and then the ones that just lie.
Well, there are other categories to those. There are also the people that just don't want to be put in a corner,
Yep.
refuse to be put in a box, um, and you know, uh, what you feed your energy to is what's going to grow, and it's so important. I know I sound like a repeating record, guys. I'm sorry if some of you feel like this is so boring, but
So you think it's
yeah,
boring?
and
Let them go watch CNN, huh?
yeah, I mean, listen, I'm not gonna I'm that's not something I'm willing to do. I'm not willing to feed the crazy anymore. Okay,
No.
and I mean that sincerely. And so even people that I just adore, I'm gonna keep my distance from these people because the energy going on in some of these rooms and in some of these shows is not the energy that I want to give my energy away to, right? Um, exactly, Dawn. You met people that just suck the energy right out of. Pappy calls them energy suckers. I call them, pardon me, energy vampires.
Hey, brother Robert.
But they're the same thing, you know. They'd suck the life right out of you if they could, if you allow them. Um, so, you know, sometimes it's good to pull away and recharge your battery. You've seen those Earth batteries, right?
Yep.
They're rods buried in the ground with connectors. I think we the human beings of the planet are kind of like that as well, and we get these floods of information or these floods of emotion or these floods of ego that come in and go, and all these different changing energies. And what happens is we get so stuck in the flood that we forget that we're still grounded in the earth, right? We forget that we still have that ability to uh, to be grounded, to be charged up by a natural energy. And so sometimes it's very good just to take time off to do that.
Yeah, too many out there they're wanting to look for carrion. If they can't find carrion, they create it. Too many vultures.
There are tons of those out there, Chuck. You're right. Um, and the other thing is, there are a lot of people, and we talk about high vibes and low vibes and all that stuff. There are a whole bunch of people who are still stuck in their ego programming, that they only can speak in manipulation. And I know that sounds terrible, but I think you guys will understand what I'm talking about. Some people use victimhood, right? They can't rise above what's happened to them. They can't process it. And it's completely understandable. We all go through different traumas in our life. I think we signed up for that before we got here. I truly do. That's my feelings on it. Now,
Like Carl said,
but we're coming to a time. What's that?
like Carl said about feelings, too many people assume that their feelings are more than anybody else's. And when people start talking about that, it's like feelings don't matter. The actions and responses is what matter.
Yeah. Well, and that's the other thing too, is that we as a society have become, there's been so much of a sickness, and I'm talking about a mental, emotional instability among the people, where it's almost like, well, my scars are bigger than your scars, right? Like that's my victimhood is bigger than your victimhood, or and really all that is the lower end of keeping up with the Joneses. It's the same egoic mindset, right?
Yep.
And
The two guys peeing off the bridge thing, that water's cold, yeah, and deep, huh?
yeah, right, exactly.
EP contest.
Right. Well, and that's the problem though, because see, that's the part that they're unwilling to let go of. And when people are unwilling to let go of that part and to turn around and look at the, an objective outside view of the matter, so that they can learn the lesson from it, heal from it, forgive, move on, and come out of that part of themselves, move through their stages. But in the unwillingness to let go of that little security blanket that's been your core thing that you've shaped your whole world around, right?
Yep.
When you're unwilling to do that, you're unwilling to grow. And so really, it's really important that we can do that. And I don't see it happening the way I'd love to see it happening, but I still have faith that it's going to happen, that they will eventually shed that coat of ego and see with the eyes of their heart. I don't know. What's that? I don't know. Give me 1 minute.
I got told I was too harsh, saying that everybody deserves the 100% honest truth. And they said that's harsh and you shouldn't be that way towards people because it affects them. I'm like, what affects them worse, the truth or the lies?
Well, I'm going to bring a point in then that Pappy would likely put forth, and that is sitting around the campfire. What you see from your side is not what I'm going to see from my side. It doesn't make either one of us less true, right?
Yeah.
we're not telling something false, but it's two different perspectives. So a lot of people think they have the truth, and when they think they have the truth, they're for it. Now, they may be sitting on a different side of the campfire than you, or they may be intentionally putting out mistruths. Either way,
or their head's too far up their butt, and all they see is
they have the truth. Yeah,
Sorry.
exactly. Well, that's that ego. That's where that ego comes in and really throws a lot of people off. You know, because that's letting those emotions and things cloud you. Hi, Crystal. Hi, Pappy.
Hey, Chuck. Hey, Pappy.
Hey,
Chuck, did you run out of somewhere too?
did I what?
Get run out of somewhere too?
We're not going to do that today. This is not what we are about today. I've heard a lot of things about the last couple of days. I'm not talking about none of that today. I'm just letting y'all know. I'm not even going to bring that forth. I will not give my energy to it.
Okay.
Let's just put it this way: I've been run out of every bar I was ever in.
I don't go to bars.
That was a joke, but
I like your little round thing, Heather. I don't know what they call it. The Christmas thing?
Yeah, it's a little Christmas ornament thing. What do you think, Pappy? Is it about the campfire?
I wish I could.
Well, hello. Well, campfire is depends on what you like the campfire for. You know, if the campfire is for your benefit to help you keep your feet all toasty and everything, that's one thing. But if it's a campfire to illuminate people that are all sitting around it having a good time, then you need to understand that you're going to need to change your chair once in a while to get other people's views.
I spent the last 2 or 3 weeks when nobody's seen me at my fire throwing all the negativity and crap in it.
Yeah.
Good job.
That's a good time to do it, boy. You get all that junk that's accumulated all year like sticks in your yard. Get it all in one pile and watch her go.
Yep.
You can give away negativity as well as positivity.
Well, you know, giving away negativity is a healthy thing to do, but you got to remember, you know, when you do that kind of a giveaway, it creates a vacuum inside of you, and you got to be real quick about filling it up with good positive stuff. Otherwise, negative stuff comes back and tries to weasel its way in again. You know.
I delivered to the fires of experience.
Yep. Get your negative fire burning and throw the accelerant on it. Bacon grease is good because it smells good.
You saying bacon grease reminded me of a candle my buddy was making he used beeswax and then he's putting bacon in it. I was telling him last night bacon grease. He said it gave him a home smelling ambiance, he called it. I said, yeah, it smells like you're making breakfast when you got them lit.
Yeah, that's right.
That'll make you
Crystal,
fat.
you're fine. I was just letting you know. You know, the whole show today is about what are you giving your energy to? And I will not give my energy to that. And I don't want it here. You know, I understand there have been lots of problems on lots of other different shows lately. I don't go to those places anymore because I don't want to give my energy out like that. Yeah. I'm trying to do.
I'm hurt.
Things.
I'm hurt because I feel like I've lost part of my family.
I'm sorry to hear that.
You can't lose people, Crystal, that aren't there. Just remember that.
Yeah, you know, and that brings up a good, Crystal. It brings up a good point that you mentioned. You know, when you feel like you've lost family, the first thing you know that I always do. I mean, I don't ever let anybody into my inner family, you know, until I've vetted them. You know what I'm saying? So I don't walk into a stranger's place and say, well, I'm here with family, you know, even though they're friendly to you and that sort of stuff like that. You know, friends are different than family. you know, and family will have squabbles and spats and stuff like that, but it's very hard to establish a family with people that you don't get a chance to sit down eyeball to eyeball or exchange energy with, and you're just talking to them or you see their face on the screen and stuff like that. You may like them and everything like that, and they give you warm and fuzzies and stuff, but when it comes right down to it, you have to realize that you can't call them family yet, even if they're calling you family.
Especially when you first met them, they start calling you their brother. That's like, yeah.
Well, just that. I'm not going to say no more about it. Let's put positivity out there. I'm dropping it. But I've been very happy lately. The air in my house is totally different. The energy in my house is totally different than it was. And I'm just happy that, I've got that energy in my house and in my soul. And I just take it one day at a time.
Having that type of energy in yourself and in your place that you call your sacred space and stuff, that's one of the best protections you can put around you.
Yeah, I want to find some holy water or something and put it around my doors and stuff like that, to keep that kind of stuff out. I don't want any bad energy in my house no more.
Pappy, I got something to share with you. I had my first old man moment about a week ago.
Uh-oh.
I went to do something, leaves everywhere, and I didn't notice I was close to where I know there's a little ditch thing. Stepped in it, started stumbling, trying to catch my balance. A hose got wrapped around my foot, jerked my foot back, and I started accelerating forward. So I tried to run, which I can't do. Ended up having to turn my sideways and jump straight so I'd land sliding so I wouldn't hurt myself, but I still ended up hurting everywhere.
So that's your first one, huh?
Yeah, and my wife, I told her what happened. She goes, I bet you made a really good show. I said, yes, I probably look like the water boy trying to tackle somebody, and I just hit the ground.
The ground ain't so nice to us when we get older.
No. And it was right next to my tree out there that I leave the bad things at and pick the good things up from, and it probably was shaking its head. And I don't know what neighbor saw me or whatever. I just got up and tried to find something to stand up, and I got up, walked humbly in the house, and sat in here and just looked at the TV that wasn't on for about an hour.
You didn't go over and find yourself a mirror and look in there and say, well, how the hell did that go for you, you old fart?
I had my cousin take my cable off. All I have is internet. I don't watch that TV anyway. But it dropped my bill from $198 to $76.
Yeah, makes a difference, don't it?
Yeah, when you're working with $780 something, that's hard right there.
Oh yeah, yep, yeah. My brother,
but I can do it.
He's pretty much like that too.
I have ISP TV, and the only thing I pay for is internet. I pay like $10 a month for ISP TV, and it's got like 6,000 channels. But don't get caught with it.
Oh, my cousin had, I don't know for how long, cable in here she wasn't paying for.
Well, somebody was paying for it.
Yep.
And if you have to have that many channels,
they don't let you get away with nothing free. Somebody's paying for it.
Hey, Jeff, I didn't know you was there too.
Oh, yeah.
He's playing that proxy medicine up there, hiding.
I was cooking. Sorry.
You're cooking?
Oh,
Well, yeah, gotta have some fish sticks.
Yeah, I made mixed greens last night. I don't know how many people like that, but I made turnip and mustards with smoked turkey tails in it, and then made some sweet cornbread to eat with it.
I bet that was delicious.
That sounds good.
Yeah, it does.
Mm-hmm.
I like the mixed greens.
I love corn, but I couldn't
You're
find
just missing the beans.
Yeah, I'm thinking about the butter beans today.
I like the green butter beans. Like they butter beans, the green ones.
Lima?
Lima.
Lima, yeah.
I remember something as a
that
kid,
now.
Mom buying a can you can't find anymore that succotash. What was it, corn and lima beans or something like that?
Yeah. You make your own succotash. It's really easy.
Well, the real succotash was the corn, the beans, and squash.
Mm-hmm.
Chunks of squash in it. But lots of times people now replace it with carrot, you know.
Yeah. As a kid, I didn't like nothing to do with lima beans, squash, celery, bell pepper, and beets. And I've here over the last years.
Eating the heck out of them now, huh?
Now I eat beets, and I made myself at a salad bar do that here last year, and then made myself eat seconds of them. And I realized it was all the sweet, weird texture kind of thing is like coagulated blood, and I got past that, and it was like, well, it ain't that bad.
Yeah.
I like fresh beets.
Yeah. My dad liked hominy and ugh.
My dad did too. I eat it. It's not something I buy, but
Yeah.
Well, that old hominy, that you know, you gotta play around with that so much by the time it's edible, you know, by
Yeah.
wash
lot
it
of
through
work.
the lye and everything else, you know.
It's almost like more work than Thanksgiving. You have a
Well, that's like preparing acorns to make damn flour, you know. You got to go through all that stuff. Got to cook them and
making
bleach
chips.
them. Now, next week I'm going to do my my turnips and parsnips and carrots mix. So
Ooh. That sounds so good.
I gotta find something I want to cook this day too. A Christmas dinner with my friends and stuff. I'm
Make
thinking
a
about
broth-
making a squash casserole.
Make a broccoli casserole. Everybody eats it. Nobody makes it anymore. All the older folks that used to make broccoli casserole don't make it. So I find if I make it, everybody's like, "That's cool. What is that?" I'm like, "You never seen that?"
Well, we had that at Thanksgiving too. Most of the time, with my other part of my family, if we have a get together, that's what they all scream for me to make is squash casserole.
And then it might go over well.
well, you can substitute cauliflower for broccoli and come up with a different twist on that broccoli casserole.
Yeah, and
Oops, sorry. Go ahead, Pappy.
I like it in mashed potatoes too.
Oh yeah.
You know what I've been wanting and I ain't seen in 30, 40 years is a fake rutabaga with just smothered with butter after you pull it out and eat it. And everybody's like, I've never heard of that. I don't know if any of y'all have or not.
Well, you
No,
know,
I've
the
never had
rutabaga,
it, but
that's
yeah,
just
I've
like
heard
a
of it.
giant turnip.
Yep.
Hey, everybody in chat. I love y'all.
Hey, B Dog, how you doing? See you there.
Is
Maybe
it
no,
true
everybody-
that everybody's taste changes like every 10 years? Or is
Seven,
that
I
just a wild
think.
tale?
yeah,
It's
it's
like
just due to your body change.
it's part of the 7-year itch thing, which is a bad way to terminology. But
It just happens that way.
I promised my wife a prime rib dinner today, but I've called a couple of places and they ain't got it.
What?
Yeah. Well, if I do find a place that's got it, it's probably going to be pricey. But it's her birthday, so hey.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
Well, within reason, but yeah.
my wife loves that Ruby Tuesday. I think it's a ribeye they have there with that. It's like an Alfredo-ish garlicky sauce with the shrimp they put over it.
Yeah. Yep.
She loves that steak and sauce. The rest of it, you can salad, potato, and the sides, all that, just that. It's kind of like she focuses on that. And you can almost see the halo form around it when she sees it and smiles.
Well, the one place I haven't checked is the Texas Roadhouse. That's about 15 miles from here.
They're awesome. Just be choicey with what you
Okay.
get.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, maybe I can find DoorDash to deliver it because I ain't much wanting to go out much anymore. Every time I go out, I got to jump start my car because the battery's dead.
That's because you don't use it that often.
That's right. Well, I mean, I got a 2014 Xterra. It's got 24,600 miles on it.
You know what'll help, Pappy? Get you a cigarette lighter plug. Go to the Tractor Supply or Harbor Freight.
It's a good spot to go to. Yep.
I got one of them little solar things that it didn't work for.
You plug it in the cigarette lighter and put it on the dash.
It didn't keep it up high enough. It just, I guess that computer and the alarm system on that thing drains more than that solar charger produced.
It may have been
Hey,
too.
I have an idea for you, Pappy. And I know it sounds crazy, but when we used to go to the lake, our pontoon sat on in the lake for 2-3 weeks, sometimes even a month before it would ever start. And we always had to have, well, of course, Dad always had a deep cycle battery on it. If you put a deep cycle battery in your car, it's not going to hurt anything. It's just all it's going to do is it's going to maintain, and you should be able to start your car. Just an idea, if you'd like.
Or if you're mechanically savvy, put your disconnect switch on your positive power cable, and just when you get out, go open the hood and flip it off.
Yeah, but then doesn't he have to let his car sit and idle for about 10 minutes before he can go anywhere so it adjusts itself?
It's with the computer in it, it'd hold everything fine.
Yeah, everything.
Yeah, they got a crystal in those computers.
You know, if it goes completely dead, you know, to the point that even the little bit of charge that was left over for, you know, to hold the computer and stuff like that, you know, if I put another battery in there, it takes a little while for everything to start working again. You know, the whole freaking dash is all electronic except for the speedometer.
It's got to wake back up. Huh?
Yeah, it's got to. Well, it's like me in the morning, I guess, probably. But shit, you know, if I had a driveway, it would be no hassle. I'd hook the trickle charger up to it, and just leave it plugged in, you know. But I have to park on the street. It means I got to run an extension cord across the sidewalk, and somebody can trip over and sue me.
Yep, or take your battery charger.
I was thinking about just taking a battery out of the damn thing, or get the battery.
You think about it, Pappy, next time you're in it, check to see if your cigarette lighter works when it switches off. Because a lot of them, that might be your issue. The cigarette lighter could go off when the body control module finally shuts down. A lot of them will turn the cigarette lighter and stuff off inside.
Yeah, well, I've got two different cigarette lighters. I've noticed that one will work with the car running, and the other one won't. So they're probably separated, you know.
Well, I got 50 years in my car. It's called Pete and Repeat. It's called walking.
Pat and bend, pat your feet and bend your knees.
Yeah. And they wore out. I have family and friends around me that help me. I thank God that I do have friends. And, you know, I've got a friend and family that helps me out if I need to go somewhere. So.
Yeah, I'm going to have to get this all charged up here and keep it charged up. Of course, I'll be running it every day here pretty soon. Once I start my treatments, I have to go in every day probably for 9 weeks. So,
Lord.
That'll probably keep it charged up, I would imagine.
Yeah. Do you have a second battery around the place around there? You can buy blemish batteries. Basically, it's usually a mark on the case or whatever. You can get them fairly cheap through them.
Yeah, I've been thinking about getting a second one. Just keep it in the house on a trickle charger, you know, and then go out there and swap them out and then charge the other one back up again, you know. Or take it to a shop and just have them put it on the rapid charger. You know, they got the big ones that'll charge them up pretty quick. The one that I got, you know, to be on the safe side, it's just, you know, it's a maintainer's more of the, you know, it'll take 3 days for that thing to charge it up completely, probably.
Yeah. Yeah, if it's a 2.5, yeah.
Yeah, I'm thinking real serious about it. I got a 2008 truck, and when it's cleaned up, it still looks new. I'm thinking about getting rid of it and trying to find me. I want a 67 GMC or Chevy, and I'm going to leave the points in it. That way, if all hell does ever break loose, that if the EMP kills everything, You ain't gonna kill them points.
Yep.
Nope.
That's
Yep.
the reason I like old cars.
Yeah, and get
Yeah,
one that's
you ain't gonna get hurt most of the time because of all these cars now with fiberglass, and you ain't got to worry about all them expensive parts or the computers.
Yeah, back then, boy, if your starter went, you could go in there and jump across you could jump across the terminals with a screwdriver and get it started,
A lot of them you could lay across the motor and get in there, and you could even change the starter from the bottom. You had enough room to reach around it.
Yeah, not anymore, that's for sure.
I bet you if you dropped $5 worth of pennies, you probably wouldn't find 50 cents on the ground.
Well, you know why? And then little hidden government guys that says half that money's mine, I'm going to get it.
Yeah. And back before I got hurt, you wouldn't believe how many 10mm sockets that I found down in little cubbies working on cars.
Yeah. Yeah, Camo Carl was saying that, bad ground could cause a battery to drain in just days. And I understand that. But I had the same problem when I had my Hummer out here. I'd have my Hummer and my Xterra both out there. Of course, neither one of them didn't drive either one of them after I retired worth the shit, They'd both go dead out there, put new batteries in them. They'd last until that battery went dead, and then they'd start it all over again,
Body control module kicks on and off. Thunder, if something moves, it bumps, and a lot of times it just does its own scans. And
Yeah.
if you don't move and the body control module kicking on and off, just it maintaining itself kills it.
Yep, there's something to be said about going out to the barn and banging on the side of the stable and have the horse get up and just get on and ride,
Yeah. Like Festus, jump on your mule and go.
My first car
Hey,
was
Pat.
a 76 Camaro with Corvette rallies on it. But
Okay.
my dad was a master mechanic, and I wasn't living with them. My car was messing up, so I let these guys in the know tell me it was this, tell me it was that. Never was, so I finally called my dad, and he come over there, and my gas thing that tells you how much you got in it didn't tell me too good. He said, "You got gas in it?" I said, "Yeah, I got a little gas in it." So he went to the gas station, got some gas, put it in it, and it started right up. I looked so stupid. I felt so dumb. He looked at me and he said, "Why didn't you just come to me in the first place? Those guys didn't know nothing they were talking about."
Yeah, that gas isn't renewable, so it's like I tell
What
him.
generation? Sorry.
Sorry about that.
No, that's all good. What generation Hummer did you get there, Peppy?
Well, I had an H3. Yeah, I had a 2006 H3. Tweety Bird yellow.
Tweety Bird Yellow. I was trying to imagine you in the in the
Military style.
military
No,
one.
it
Yeah.
was. I would have liked to have one of the H1s.
Me
But
too.
that H3, a lot of people just, they'd like to have the Hummers. But I'll tell you one thing that I found about Hummers. First off, it is full of blind spots. You can't see jack diddly squat around you. Any little
Almost like
cars
the
and stuff
HHR.
like that, they're hidden. I don't know how many I probably gave heart attacks when I was shifting.
You know what they are too? All they are is a glorified Tahoe, because they got the same motor, same chassis, same drivetrain.
Just
Well, the one
different
that I
body.
had a 5-cylinder in it, which is the same as the Cheyenne motors and the Colorados.
Yeah.
But it was one thing I loved about it. It's all-time 4-wheel drive, so I never worried about it in the winters up here. Matter of fact, I hardly ever shoveled a parking spot for that thing. I just drove right up on whatever was there. And that's why my wife actually bought that for me, because I had a job where it was, I was on the maintenance department. So when we had snow emergencies and stuff, I had to be there, to do snow removal at all these different properties and stuff, So she wanted to have a car that was dependable. So we happened to see that thing, and of course I took it for a test drive, and that was it. I ended up finally selling it because One thing about that Hummer, it couldn't keep a rear end in it for nothing.
Oh,
I was
no.
getting ready to have to put a second one in it. It just freed up the universal joints and stuff. It's crazy. Body control module I had to replace,
Just too
and
much
nothing's cheap on a Hummer.
mechanical.
It's got body side marker lights on it that you cannot access unless you take all the fender wells out, or if you want to dismantle the whole front end of the Hummer to change your friggin' direction signal lights. That's stupid as hell.
I did that on
Whoever tried
purpose.
that.
Happy, you said you had a one like in the military.
Well, it's it was a civilian version of it. I
Oh,
would love to have the one like they had in the military. You can work on them.
can you imagine driving that around right now? People would probably freak out.
That's okay. People don't need a reason to freak out anymore. They just do it naturally.
Yeah.
They're conditioned to be candy asses.
And if I really wanted to draw attention up here, I could put a certain political party stickers on the bumper over there, and I'll draw all the attention I need up here.
Put the cocoa on top of the wood stove, or the water, I'm sorry. The tea kettle.
Hey, Chuck, you would have got a charge out of what my youngest daughter got me for my birthday gift.
What'd you get?
Well, I got a box in the mail. I said, this thing's pretty heavy. It wasn't very big. And so I looked on the outside of it. It said it came from Man Crates.
Huh.
And it's an online thing where you can buy gifts and stuff, right?
Yeah.
I opened it up, and in there, lo and behold, there was a ammo can.
Huh.
Said 7.62 NATO. Yeah, it's, holy mackerel.
It's funny you
Well,
say that. I'm looking past some of my stuff here, and I got one sitting on the floor over there.
So I opened up that ammo can, and it was chock full of all different types of beef jerky and beef sticks and everything else.
That's cool.
I mean, I like that too. Don't get me wrong, but I thought I'd scored. I thought I was getting a couple of 100 rounds of ammo, but I did get another ammo can to put my loose ammo in. So,
There you go. See?
plus with my wife getting that big old cheese package from Wisconsin, I got cheese and jerky and you name it. I'm styling.
They're not
Wow,
stop.
a few more bullets and go target practice.
That's
Have a
right.
good old day.
Eat jerky, have cheese, and reload.
That's
Did I
right.
hear Raina on here a minute ago?
What was that,
What
Crystal?
was that again?
I said I thought I heard Raina in the background.
Yes, you do.
Hey, Raina.
Hi.
How are you doing today, beautiful?
Good.
Get a cup
You
of hot
ready?
cocoa.
You made
Go ahead.
any more pictures?
What?
You done any more drawings?
Drawings? Have you done any more?
I mean, I did this one, like a front of a comic book cover.
Oh, that's cool. You made any more paintings, Heather?
Oh, here and there, but I've really been just focusing on the Christmas stuff, and we've been enjoying our time together, doing our decorating and whatnot. And, we just had a nice, easy weekend.
Well, I'd like to put a tree up, but I think my cats would love that.
Yeah, last year we had our first with Honey Bun, so we had plastic everything on the tree last year. This year we went ahead and got off some of the plastic for the bottom, and then our normal stuff is on top.
Yeah, that sounds like a
Just
good
in
thing.
case. Yeah, just in case. Now, she didn't mess with it last year, so we got an idea that she'll be a good cat. We're crossing our fingers per year.
We'll see how it goes, and then next year we'll break out the real ornaments.
It's
It's still
Wait,
pretty
say hi
fully
to
Hey,
decorated.
beautiful.
Hello, everyone.
Ooh, here, you want to show them our partridge bell?
Oh, yeah. Hi,
yeah.
Pappy. Come on.
Oh, Oh, that's pretty.
Sorry about the noise. See what's on top of it?
Partridge.
On top of a wreath.
It's pretty.
I don't know if you can read it. It says Christmas, I think 2000 there. Yeah.
Your mama needs to sit that beside the bed, and when she needs y'all, she can ring it.
That would never work in my house.
I think the only person that would work on would be me. I'm still that old style. When the bell rings, what? Someone's ringing.
Yeah, Pappy got me reading about Hummers and stuff. I want one, and one of the guys had one. It had like 400 horsepower Caterpillar diesel engine in it.
Wow.
Wow.
That's a big engine.
Said that
I've
thing.
been behind 400 horse, but
Said that thing would pull itself almost straight up.
You better be finding something economy wise where it don't cost your arm and a leg for gas.
Yeah, those things got like 10 miles a gallon. It didn't matter if it was loaded, unloaded, pulling 1,000,000 pounds or whatever. It's 10 miles a gallon.
Hmm.
I wouldn't be going very far.
Loaded it is.
I actually got that H3 once I put a performance chip in it.
You get about 20.
No, I was getting 16 combined. That's with all-time four-wheel drive. So I didn't consider that too bad. But
No, because
yeah,
it's
it's not
around the
bad
same
for
way.
all-wheel drive.
If I'm doing a lot of highway driving, I'll get close to 20 in my truck.
Yeah.
down here in this state now, when you go in for your emissions inspection sticker and stuff, the computer will pick up if it's not factory original. You know, if you put performance chips and stuff like that in it,
Yeah.
and it'll give you a rejection.
Yeah, you got to change your chip out before you take them in.
Yep.
That's
A lot
one
of
of the
use
things
the
I got my ex last year for Christmas was a what Pappy just said. What'd you call it?
What, a performance?
chip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go, dude.
Hey, Chuck, is that the horn for your Hummer you're going to get?
Yeah, they're bringing it to him right now. Offload it right in his backyard.
I hear that
Straight from
sound
the road.
all the time. There's
Wow. Yeah.
a railroad track like 3 houses down from mine.
It's almost like I'm a hobo at the trains derail. It's like I'm a hobo right there at the train depot or something, ain't it? The train coming by.
We watch that one guy that does that.
That train
He jumps
coming.
trains.
It's rolling around the bend.
On the hill.
He had to go up for a surgery not too long ago.
There's what's sad is I'm about a quarter mile away from the tracks, and there's 3 or 4 houses and yards and buildings and garages and barns and trees in between here and there.
You got a good
But-
microphone.
But there's also houses right along that track. That some of them houses are within 30 feet of that track.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be.
That's where all the deaf people live.
Yeah, I'd
I bet
wake
they
up.
don't have China in their hutches.
I believe that'd wake you up thinking there's one fixing to come through your house.
No kidding.
Yeah.
I wasn't
So-
living here when I first got here. I was living in a different apartment, but I didn't know there was a train track behind it. And I was sleeping, and I heard that thing, and I jumped up, and I was
Bless
like,
you.
"What in the world?" And then I listened. I said, "Oh gosh," and I went back to sleep. Scared the dickens out of me at first.
Oh, yeah.
I thought
Funny
some
how
kind
you-
of weather or something was coming through.
Funny how you get used to stuff like that, and your brain will switch it right off. You don't even hear it anymore.
Yep, when I'm sleeping here, and it's closer than the one was at the apartment. Boy, if I knew it was going to Atlanta, I would jump the train just to go up there and see my sister and my kids.
Did that a few times in my youth, jump in the train just to see if I could.
My
That's
wife,
fun.
she
I
used
ain't going
to
to try
hitchhike.
it at my age. I wouldn't be able to jump out of the
I
way of the
wouldn't
damn
now.
My arm would be on the train and I'd be still standing on the ground.
Stretch Armstrong.
Before me and my wife got married, when we were living up in Ohio and she was in Lorraine, her girlfriend's boyfriend called her. He was he got down there and got strung out on drugs is what happened. And anyway, she was going to take off, didn't want to go alone, so she talked to my wife, and that's before we were married. And they just disappeared. They took off hitchhiking from Lorain, Ohio to Houston, Texas.
Yeah, I've done a little bit of that too.
Wow.
I used to walk across train track, add water up under it, and it was a bridge. I did it a couple of times, but I was so scared.
Yeah.
Me and my cousins did that in Tennessee, and it was a half-mile long bridge over the Duck River, and here comes the train when we're at the middle. You never seen a fat boy move so fast. They were both athletic and thin, and I beat them to the other side.
You know, it's funny that you guys brought that up because no matter where we are in this world of ours, it just shows how similar, there are certain things that we all have memories of that evoke different feelings, different emotions, but there's a commonality there,
Everybody's been there.
Yeah.
Done that.
Well, I ain't been chased by a train, but I've been chased by a few mad cows and stuff once in a while.
I tell you that what was more scary than the sound of that train behind me. I was 16 years old, and me and a couple buddies at this girl's house with some other girls, and the parents were supposed to be out of town. And we heard a car pull up and the door shut, so she shuffled us off into the parents' bedroom to hide in the closet. And the mother walked in, and ain't nothing scarier than the closet door swing open and a woman with a shaky hand pointing a 357 at you.
Yeah.
I think the only scarier sound is being outside in the dark and hear a pump shotgun get pumped, loading its chamber, and it's like that'll make your dookie drop to the ground quick.
Yeah, that's a good deterrent right there in the dark,
That's the reason you go out the window.
When she pointed that gun and she who different ones were, and she said, "I know you, and you're not a type to do stuff like this." As I came over with them, and we were talking to the girls, and the girls freaked out because y'all come in, nothing happened. She goes, "Will you just stand right there?" I said, "I'm going to my car," and I said, "If you're going to shoot me in the back." I got my ass. I never went into a girl's house again without her parents home.
Lesson learned.
That was real good juvenile birth control.
Yeah, like B-Dog said, that's universal language spoken right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No words have to be behind it.
The sound of a gun cocking will scare the dickens out of anybody.
I don't know which one is worse, the shotgun sound pumping it or a woman with pointing a gun at your face shaking.
Probably the shaking person would bring me more fear.
Yeah.
She had the hammer pulled, so it wouldn't have took but a gnat fart to make her pull that trigger. And I figured that I was being as nice as I could, and I'm leaving. I'm getting out of your house. If you're going to shoot me, you're going to shoot me in the back, and I'll never darken your door again. I didn't even open their cyclone fence. My bad ass jumped that fence, and I was in my car.
Give me 3 steps, misses, and you won't see me no more.
Girl tried to get a hold of me, the other girl's best friend after that, and I'm like, no, I'm good. I'm like, your parents know about this, and that's not a good thing, and I don't want to meet them. She goes, I don't want you to meet my parents. I just want to run with you. And I'm like, no.
Well, that girl grew up with her undergarments attached to mom's trigger finger. You knew that.
Yep.
Best chastity belt in the world's a mama with the 357. Oh my goodness.
That I was 16 years old, so that was 40 years ago, and I still remember that vividly.
Well, good. Lesson learned.
Yeah. Even falling on your face is a step forward.
You know, if that happened today, that'd probably be your wife standing outside that closet door looking at you and say, what you doing in here?
Yeah.
At my best friend's house.
Hi, Bobo.
Oh, yeah, Mr. Needy's getting started because he knows it's about time I feed the cats.
Uh-huh.
Right. Time for him to sneak in and get what they don't eat. Hey, Brenda.
It ain't no sneak in about it. He is so persistent, we have to let him in just so we can lick the dishes enough that they slide up underneath the stove or table or someplace where we have to get on our hands and knees to get them back out again.
Licks them through to the other side, huh?
Yep.
Our black German Shepherd, he's got an issue with getting into the cat's litter box and eating the kitty yum-yums.
Mine did too when I had it. I don't know if it's some kind of vitamin deficiency that they needed or what it was, but
he's kind of special. He's thrown off. He's like he's a dog. He's pretty beautiful, big, huge black German Shepherd, fluffy hair. One ear hangs down, cocked sideways, and he does it on purpose. And his tongue will be hanging out the other side of his mouth. He looks those special needs.
oh,
You just can't help but love him, huh? Give him everything he asks for.
I rode the short bus too. Don't put him on there.
And the other one is a little bit smaller, and he's basically the tan color of a German Shepherd. Has very, very little black markings. He's all tan. And it's like yin and yang of the German Shepherd world. The black on one all over and the tan on the other all over. And he's the smarter, more tolerant. The other one tries to be the alpha, and he'll let him control him till it pisses him off, and he growls enough, and then here they go. They're at it.
My cat, my boy cat, he's Mr. more nosier than his sister. But since I've been going on the chats and I go on like this, he will want to get in my lap and watch everybody and listen to everybody for a while, and he'll just sit there like guess he thinks he wants to be a star or something. I don't know.
Yeah, well, it's all that different energy being produced too. You know, cats are very sensitive to energy shifts.
Oh yeah, I think they got. I might be wrong, but I think dogs and cats got different personalities.
Absolutely, they do.
Yeah, my wife says I'm just like the cats are. She goes, you don't give a shit when stuff's not just going right, D. And I'm like, nope. Things should be in order, and they should maintain order, and it should be beneficial to everybody. And she's like, bills due, and she'll nitpick over stupid things. And I'm like, money's not an object to be upset about. It comes and goes. You can't take it with you. People have got $10 billion. If they lose 50 cents, they worry over it. So I'm just like, even if you had all you could spend, you'd still dwell on it. So
yeah. Well, I used to tell my mama because she would always stress, and she would break out under her on her chest. And I told her, I said, Mom, I'm not gonna be like you. She said, what do you mean? I said, I'm not gonna stress. I said, not like you. I said, just stress and pay the bills. And we had the money. I said, just stress and pay the bills. She said, no. I said, then why stress? It's not going to get them paid.
I always tell everybody, if you can't do something about it today or tomorrow or sometime this week, if you cannot correct it, there's no sense in living there.
Exactly. That's giving your energy away.
The other day, I forgot what I was kind of crying about. I was sitting on my couch, and my my cats are named Kush and Mary Jane. Well, Kush, my boy cat, was sitting up on top of my table, and he seen me crying. He come run over there, and he would not get off of me for like an hour. And he was just like rubbing me and stuff like that, and it made me feel so much. Hey, Dorinda.
Hey, Crystal. Hey, Pappy.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello,
Hello,
Dorinda.
everyone.
It's the Brady Bunch shuffle.
We're still missing one.
Get up here, Robert.
Robert, where are you at? So how are you doing, Dorinda?
Today's my day off, and I just came from Walmart.
Oh, Lord.
I had to go get coffee.
That's like saying your foot feels great. I'm going to go stub it.
Yeah.
My wife works there, and I feel so sorry for her.
I was in and out of there in 5 fucking minutes, and it wasn't fast enough for me.
Yeah, I'm one of these women that do not like to go shopping. If I go to Walmart or somewhere like that, I got to get in and get out, because the last time I went, I had a friend with me. She took me there. I just feel like I hear everybody's talking, and it just puts me in this little box, and it makes me unnerved. It's my post-traumatic disorder and my panic, because I have panic attacks, and I just had to leave. I said, my stuff's paid for. I'm out the door. I can't take this.
Well, when we were doing our Christmas shopping last week, I had both my husband and my daughter with me, which was just a fucking shit show. Sorry. And I'm like trying to go through my list on what to get people, right? And they're like, "Oh, that's enough. That's enough. That's enough." Yep, whatever. I'm done.
Yeah,
As far as I'm concerned, Christmas is now done.
I hate going to Walmart, but a bad habit I have, I go in there. I'll go in there and say, if I'm going after sugar, I'm going to remember 72 other things that I need, and I don't want to have to get out again, so I get them.
Yeah.
And then
I had seen this really nice sweater, fuzzy, whatever the hell you want to call it, sweater with a hood and whatever, and it had purple in it, and I only got 2 things for my daughter, so I got her a sweater. So she gave me shit because I bought her a sweater, because I yelled up and asked her before I went there, and she said no, and I bought it anyway.
Yeah, everybody keeps asking, what are you getting for so-and-so for Christmas? And I'm like, I'm getting everybody 2 of what they got me.
Nothing.
I'm going to give you something that's called attitude. No, I'm
Yeah, no. As far as I'm concerned, my Christmas shopping is done. But, do not go Christmas shopping at the dollar store with your husband for stocking stuffers, because you end up with way less than what you should have had.
That or a bunch of as seen on TV stuff.
Or simply, buy smaller stockings while you're there.
Well, I always overpack the stockings. Always. And they're trying to get me to stop overpacking the stockings.
You know what works? It sounds like Halloween, but get you Hershey Kisses, Reese's Peanut Butter Cups, the small ones, and get them chalk and peppermint. And then, okay, there's your stocking stuffers. Yeah. Load them up and say, there you go. You got 3 things.
Well, I don't really care about...
when we're doing the stockings, as you know, you have to put them on the couch because there's too much stuff to go in the stocking.
And pull a hole in the wall.
And there's a big pile around your stocking, right? Mom always does that. Well, this year it ain't going to be like that. It really, truly isn't going to be like that.
I really don't care if I get anything. I get a gift every day, and that's called life. And that's called my Lord Jesus. That's the present we get every day.
I'm not down with any of the commercialized establishment holidays.
Nope.
Well, they actually, if you read about it, I might be wrong or not, but most of them are not actually good things. They've just turned them into good things.
To cover it
They
up.
just turned them into retail.
I
Mother's-
will say this
Mother's-
about that because I need to.
Mother's
I need to
Mother's
say
Day
this about
was
that.
Mother's Day was supposed to be a day you appreciate your mother. Okay? Especially during wartime, it was for the war mothers. Okay? They got the church would give them a flower. White if you were a mother and red if you were a war mother. Like you had people in the army, right?
Yeah.
And that's what it was all about. But now it's gone crazy.
It's Hallmark.
Yeah, and like my family didn't, because my grandmother was alive when Mother's Day started. And she always said, if you can't appreciate me every day, don't do it on one day special. Okay. And I brought that into my family. My husband's family was a bit different. They would spoil their mother like crazy. Well, I'm like, no, don't. Be nice to me on that day or fuck off.
You know what the most confusing day is now? Holiday celebrated. The way the conditioning is and the way the population everywhere is Father's Day. 90% of them don't know who their father is.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to say this
So
about
bad.
symbols for these different holidays, and I know there's been a whole lot of talk about it, whether it's good or bad or this or that. And all I'm going to say is, if you believe that this was a good symbol your whole life and you recently were told that it was a bad symbol and you haven't done any research beyond that, stop listening to what you're being told and start looking into it. Don't be afraid to get more answers. Don't stop looking because you reached one plateau. There are many answers
Yep.
out there.
Yep.
Yeah, it shows ignorance if you just listen to one person's view.
Yep.
Well, you know,
Well,
when
what they do.
you
Sorry, Pappy, go ahead.
no, oh, it's okay. He's gonna bark anyways.
They take our symbols that are meaningful, and they have for centuries desecrated the most hopeful of symbols, the most light-filled, love-filled symbols, and they've desecrated them on purpose so that your only connotation of those symbols is derelict or demonic or evil or what have you. You now associate it that way, so you cannot, without making a conscious choice, associate said symbols with their original meanings. And this has been done on purpose. So when you hear that this symbol or that symbol of a holiday is demonic, I'm going to ask you, look deeper. Look at what it was before it was stolen by another series of folks who decided to trample on it. Look at who's telling you it's demonic, right? Look at who's telling you that this is a bad thing. And then look beyond that and find out the history. Because it's out there. It can be found really easy if you're willing to look for those answers. But if you're just willing to accept answers from other people, well, then you're going to just have to accept what they think, you know, instead of coming to your own conclusions.
Well, most holidays have erred a little bit away from where they originally started out, as far as, you know, the sentiments behind them and what you did to celebrate them and stuff, you know, over the years. I mean, I can remember back into the 50s when we didn't have anything, you know, getting something like a nice little card or something that was purchased was a really significant thing, you know. But they didn't forget the importance of remembering the day, you know. And as time went by, people became more and more affluent. They had more money to spend and stuff, you know. Of course, companies are going to jump right on that, you know. They're going to make some money off it.
I found this really beautiful card at the store. Okay. And of course, I couldn't read it because it was in French. All right. I was about maybe 5 or 6 when I bought this card for my mom for Christmas. And my mother's reading the card, and she can't read French, so she went and got the freaking French English dictionary she had, and she looked it up. Ended up, I bought her a sympathy card, but it had such a beautiful picture on it. And that's what I said to her. I said, it's the most beautiful picture I had seen. And I said, I like the picture. And she says, well, I'm really grateful. And she goes, but you know, she says, it's a sympathy card. I says, well, what does that mean? So then she had to explain to me what that meant. And I went, oh. I says, well, I know nobody's died. I says, but I can, you know, cause you a lot of sympathy because I'm just a shit disturber. And she started to laugh. She goes, okay, we'll take that.
You know, I'd rather somebody make something for me because they put more heart and soul into it than for you to go buy it on the shelf.
Yeah.
Well, you know, Dorinda, you bring up a good lesson for everybody. You know, we get so wrapped up in words and appearances and stuff that we completely miss what the intent was behind the gift.
Yeah.
You know, and then once the intent is truly unveiled for everybody to see and listen to, all that other stuff doesn't mean nothing. Because the intent comes through with whatever you gave.
Yeah, that's so true.
I mean, that's where the innocence of children comes through. That's like, I mean, that is just truth out there, unfiltered. You know, that's feelings and emotion out there, unfiltered for you to see.
Heather, you giving away some of your paintings for Christmas?
Man, my family always gets paintings from me. They've got so many paintings.
I'm jealous.
No need to be.
Huh. Anne Rice died, 80 years old.
Oh, wow.
Who's that?
Author.
Oh,
A what?
An author. She wrote like gothic tales about vampires and stuff like that.
Yeah, Interview with a Vampire. I think that's a big one she wrote.
That was big. Yeah. That was one of the biggest ones.
I got
That was a bad one.
I got confirmed today that my artwork will be on display at one of the local office supply stores in April. So I have to start gathering up my paintings and stuff and get things ready.
Dorinda, you need to show some of them.
I've showed a couple. I don't have any in here right now. I don't think I do. What's this one? Yeah, no. No, I don't have any in here right now.
I like ceramics, but you can't hardly find no places now that sell ceramics that you can paint.
Yeah.
I need to find something I can do with my hands, you know, to keep me occupied. Because I had to start rolling my cigarettes now. And it seems I'm smoking more of them than I am if I had a pack of cigarettes. So I've got to figure out me a hobby.
YouTube teaches you how to paint.
My dad was an awesome painter, painting pictures and stuff. He didn't think he had any talent, and he did. He also he built all three of the Hope chest, and he built my mama a bunch of stuff. And I told him, you should have put it out there. You would have made some money. But he never did. He just wanted to give it away. So I said, that's fine too.
Wow, somebody posted a quote that fits me to a T. Sorry for the mean, awful, and accurate things I said.
I think
That sounds like a t-shirt.
Sounds about right for me too, Chuck.
Yeah, me too.
How you feel?
Well, I hate to do this, guys, but I think we're going to wrap it up a little bit early today so we can, continue getting our stuff done that we're trying to get done around house here. And I'm going to go ahead and ask everybody for their final thoughts, if you don't mind. And whoever would like to go first is
I'm gonna just say
welcome.
bye and roll out. You guys have a great day.
Have
You
a great
too.
day, Chuck.
Have a good day,
joining us.
Chuck. Love you.
Bye.
All I'd say is shine, be positive, and be kind.
Amen.
That's all we can do.
I love y'all in the chat. I love y'all up here on the panel. I'm sorry the way I come in, Heather. I shouldn't have done that.
It's
Peace, love,
okay.
and joy, and y'all have an awesome day. And that's it.
Pappy, I'm going to give you the final word, but I want to say this to Crystal real quick. Crystal, you don't have to apologize for your emotions and your feelings. But we try to offer you a different way to look at things, right? So we don't have to always keep going back into those feelings. And so you're always welcome. Don't think because I said we're not going to discuss this, I wasn't validating your feelings, okay? Because that's not what that was about. And I hope you understand that, hon.
Yes, I do. It's
'cause,
just,
you know,
I don't
I love you.
go out and have friends. This is my friends. I'm very a hermit.
And I get that. And I understand that when we make these connections, that it's sometimes hard to let go.
Yeah.
I get that. But I also know that you've been hanging around with us for quite some time. And you understand that growth sometimes requires pruning.
Yes.
Right? And I know that's hard. It's hard on everyone's heart to have to prune. But sometimes we have to. And that's simply what it is. And on that note, I will let Pappy finish up. And I love you all. Thank you all for coming up and joining
Love
us
you
today
too,
on our day
Heather.
back.
You always put me on last, huh?
Well, that's because I
That's 'cause
know
you have
that
the
you
most
will
important
send
things
these
to say,
wonderful
Pappy.
souls off with light and love.
We say the best for last.
Well, that's it's best probably to save me for last because it takes me a little while to shuffle over to get in front of the microphone again. So I'm like the old Tim Conway playing the old man coming down the stairs.
Do the shuffle.
Do it all in
Dorf
slow
golf.
motion. But life isn't slow motion, and it goes by pretty quick. And as I reflect back now, it seems like a flash. But yet, every day that I get up, unlike Crystal and unlike many others in here, I give appreciation for that day. And sometimes that day will drag on depending upon what the circumstances are and everything. But the continuity is that each of those days were the same when we woke up. It was a gift to us, and I don't pretend to know what tomorrow is going to bring for me or for any of us. I just know that tomorrow is a day that we look forward to with faith. But we also have to ride the waves of whatever energy that is coming in too. And the other thing that I found in my length of my life so far is that my life has been full of changes in me personally, changes in my environment around me, changes in people's thinking, changes in the environment. All of that change seems to be a constant as well. And the only thing that affected my ability to interact with that change was my attitude about it. So if I wake up in the morning, and give thanks for being able to experience the fullness of creation with all of its changes and with all of its unexpected surprises, okay, then when I take my shoes off at night and I say thank you for that day, I can look back and add those things up to my experience and my growth. And when I do that, I understand that, yes, I have a great big family out there that I'm interacting with all the time, but only some of them are the ones that I hold inside of my heart and that I think about all the time. Okay. And if we do it that way, then we don't have to flood ourselves with all of the spotlights of those around that are shining on us for whatever reasons they want. We can choose the lighting in our lives. And choosing the lighting in your life is choosing the ambiance, if you will, of the energy that you wish to operate within. This is the time of giveaway. Give away everything that's negative in your life. Don't forget it, but you don't have to hold on it anymore either. Having a memory is different than actually carrying it with you every day. So give it away. Keep the lessons that you've learned from it. Okay. Keep your face to the sunshine and you don't feel the shadows. And I like to walk in the sunshine. I like to feel that type of energy. That's why these little get-togethers that we have and little chit-chats like this platform here is so enjoyable because it allows us to get out of that a little bit once in a while and just forget about it. So I'd like to thank Heather and Jeff for providing us a place to do that giveaway before we come in. We just have to remember that, you know what, if we're going to go into somebody's home and stuff like that, let's leave our barn clothes out on the porch out there so that they don't have to smell the stink when we come to the door. You know, and that's the way that I look at stuff now. You know, if I have a problem, you know, you don't need to know my problems because they're my problems. Okay. If somebody else has a problem and it's brought up and there's something we can do about it, by all means, we're going to jump in and we're going to help. Okay. That's just who we are. And I want each of you to be who you are, because every one of you is wonderful.
Thank you,
Thank
Pappy.
you
You
for
are
bringing wonder into my life.
You're our grandpappy.
And
So
on
true.
that gift, I mean note, yeah, no, I meant gift. On that gift, we'll end this. Love and light to you all. Have a wonderful
Love and
day.
light to you all.
And
I love y'all.
if we
Bye.
don't see you
Bye.
around, we'll see you tomorrow.
Bye, everybody.